I've been lucky enough to run the Berlin Marathon 3 times over the years, and it's always been such a fantastic race, one of the fastest courses anywhere in the world, with great PB or PR potential. The history and the legacy of the Berlin Marathon is what makes it really special, and today I want to take you through everything you need to know to run the Berlin Marathon, so you can have an awesome time out there and truly run to your full potential. Of course, every marathon is different, and Berlin is no exception, so we'll chat about everything you can expect to see on the course, the toilets, the water stops, the atmosphere, the pacing groups, GPS issues, and loads more. But before we get into that, please let me know down in the comments your best Berlin Marathon tips if you've run it before, or if not, what you're most looking forward to. And is it the best major out there? Let us know, because we'll be doing a complete review video of all of the majors coming up very shortly. So starting out, let's have a chat all about the collection of the bibs and the Expo. So once you get to Berlin, you've got to head down to the Expo, which is open for the 3 days before the race. It's at a disused airport now called Tempelhof Airport. It's really cool, and you can see all the fixtures and fittings of the old airport, and the Expo itself is in one of the big aircraft hangars to the side. It's open Thursday, Friday and Saturday, and only the runner that's running in the race can collect their bib, and you must do this in person. You can't nominate anybody else to go in there and collect it for you. This is because when you register, you're going to get given a wristband to put on your wrist, and this is what you need to get into your starting corrals. You need to keep this on your wrist until you finish the race, so don't take it off. When you go to the Expo, you need to take your start card with you. Now, the Berlin Marathon organizers will email this to you. You can put it as an Apple Pass thing on your phone, you can just show it on your phone screen, or you can print it out, whatever works with you. And alongside that, your photo ID. When you get to the Marathon Expo to register, they'll print your number there and then on the day. Personally, my German is not great, but everyone has a really good grasp of English there, so if you're worried about the language barrier, please don't be. There will definitely be someone there to help you. There is nothing else to pick up at the Expo apart from your marathon number. There's no free race tops or anything, but you can buy things like that. The only thing that some people will be collecting is a clear plastic bag that you can use to leave any sort of gear and items that you don't want to run with at the start of the marathon, and then pick it up at the end. You have to have pre-ordered this. I paid €5 for this year's one, and you can't add it on retrospectively. So if you pre-ordered it, good stuff. You can pick up your bag here and then leave it at the start line just before your race. Berlin have also updated their timing systems now, finally, so you don't have to have that championship attached to your shoe. The timing devices are attached to your number. Somewhat annoyingly, although it kind of depends what you like, they make you walk all the way through all of the Expo stands before you can get to where you're going to pick up your number. There's so much official merch, it does sell out quite quickly, so if you really want to get some, I'd really recommend going on the Thursday or Friday at the very least. The queues there aren't too bad as marathon majors go, but if you're arriving on the Saturday, you're probably going to have maybe up to about an hour wait to get in. So if you pre-book that clothing drop-off, you'll be given the plastic bag at the Expo. If you selected the poncho option at the start, then obviously you'll get that at the end of the race. There's nothing else to pick up at the start. There's also plenty of transport options to get down to the Tempelhof. The closest station is Platz I put that on the screen, I can't pronounce that, which is on the U6 line, and there's buses that go there as well, or it's about 6-kilometer walk from the town centre. I wouldn't recommend that, but it's not too far if you did want to do that. Berlin don't tend to send out much information pre-race, certainly not as much as some of the other marathons in the world do. They just give you the main points, so you have to check into the FAQ, spend some time on the website and learn a little bit more about the race, or watch videos like this where someone like me will tell you all about it. So spend some time on the website as well, checking for all you need to know. Right, let's chat about the start of the race. So the race starts in what's known as the Tiergarten in central Berlin. The nearest stations, again, I'll put those up on the screen now. You'll have been assigned a starting corral or starting pen based on your predicted time for the race. So you need to arrive, for me, I always like to get there at least an hour before that start time. The race usually starts around about 9:15 for the elites and the faster runners, and then people go off in waves after that. If you're unsure what starting block or starting corral you're in, it will be on your number. There'll be a letter on there, and that's your corresponding starting corral. Also, a point to note, if you are thinking of maybe running Berlin one day, a slightly annoying thing with the marathon as well is that all first-time marathons have to start at the back, a rule I've never really understood. They have to start right at the back of the field. Hopefully this will be changed soon, and you can actually put in a predicted time and you can be seated in proper corrals. That's something to bear in mind if you are a first-time marathon. It's not a great first-time marathon course. The course is fantastic, but you will probably be starting from the back. Hopefully that will get changed soon. soon. Now, the toilet situation at Berlin really isn't the best. So you've got to get there nice and early. Bring your own toilet paper, I'd recommend as well. If you want to know a complete list of everything to take with you on race day, we've got a completely free download down below, a downloadable PDF. You can tick things off and make sure you don't leave anything behind. There are some quite big queues, so as soon as you get to the start, I'd recommend getting in at one of those queues. You will see plenty of runners. It's a bit of a weird thing about Berlin. Plenty of runners just going to the loo everywhere. You're kind of in a bit of the forest, in the Tiergarten there. There's plenty of trees, plenty of hiding places. Just something you see at Berlin. There'll be plenty of people squatting in the bushes, going to the loo. It's a bit of carnage. Look where you're walking. There's also paces from anywhere between 3 and 5 hour paces out there. You'll see them in your starting pen because you'll hopefully be assigned the right starting pen for the type of pace that you want to be running. I don't really have any recollection of any sort of big security or any fences or anything to go through. There is a list of prohibited items. We'll put that up on the screen now, things you can't take in. It's all pretty obvious and straightforward. For me, the only one that stands out is no bags. You can only take in the bag, the clear plastic bag that you'd be given at Expo if you selected that option. You can also take in hydration vests up to 3 litres in capacity to run within the race as well. Also, what's really nice about Berlin is they give you completely free travel all around the city on the underground and on the buses, as long as you've got your number with you at that time. They also will email you with a little certificate thing to take around and show anybody in case you get stopped on the underground. So it's completely free travel for race day and the 3 days before that as well. And you want to be heading to the Platz der Republik, which is where the entrance is to get into the start line for the marathon. Also, you want to make sure you bring some throwaway clothing at the start. The weather for Berlin is changeable. It's normally pretty good. You're going to get somewhere between that 8 to 12 degrees, hopefully without too many winds. But it's not always guaranteed. They do have some wet weather years as well, but it can be a little bit colder on the start line. And they've got donation pens all along the side where the corrals are. Right, let's have a chat all about the course. This is what you've come for. You've heard of this fast, flat, legendary course, and you're gonna go out there and smash it, no doubt. Now, there is a really great atmosphere on the start line. Lots of music to get you pumped up and ready to go. I do recommend doing a proper warm-up before you head into your starting corrals. You're quite penned in a little bit at the start, not really much space to do any warming up. So do that in around the forest before you go in. Check in your bag, then get your warm-up done before you head in. The course is very fast and very flat overall. Many long, wide stretches of roads. The surface is all tarmac. There's a blue line to follow, that racing line. I'd really recommend following that as close as you can because the roads can be quite wide. In my 2022 race, Strava gave me just 61 meters or just 200 feet of elevation for the course, and it came in at 42.53 kilometers, so about 300 meters extra distance. There's no obvious pinch points anywhere on the course. The roads really are nice and wide. You shouldn't be too congested out there. Of course, at the start, it's going to be a little bit like that, but it all sort of opens up fairly quickly. There shouldn't be any GPS issues anywhere on the course. Berlin doesn't have many tall buildings anywhere around it. Apart from the odd train line you're going to go under, there's no blocking the watch being able to speak to the satellites around the city. So GPS should be absolutely fine all the way round. The atmosphere on the course is really good. It's not London or New York. It's just a little bit culturally, a little bit different, a little bit more chilled. But it's don't want to take anything away from it. It's still really good. There's loads of live music, loads of fans all the way around the course as well. So you're going to be in for an absolute amazing party atmosphere out there. The main highlights are right at the start. You're going to go past this beautiful victory column, it's called, which is an amazing thing. You hit that after about 300 or 400 meters. And then, of course, the legendary running through the Brandenburg Gate at the end, which is just one of the most amazing sights in all of running anywhere in the world. There's also loads of refreshment points all around the course, starting from 5 kilometers in. Water points at 5, 12, 17, 22, 32, 34, 38, and 40 kilometers into the course. And then additional stations where they have water and tea and fruit and Morton drink mix. 9, 15, 20, 25, 30 and 36 kilometers. That's as well as the water points as well. And there's just one gel station at 27.5 kilometers where they'll be giving out Morton gels. Now, of course, the sponsors might change from year to year. If you're watching this in a few years' time, they could have a different sponsor out there. And no doubt these aid stations will change. But don't worry about it. There's plenty of supplies on the course. And there's also going to be toilets at all of these aid stations as well. So plenty of toilets out on the course. One of the slight downsides about Berlin is they do give out water in plastic cups, which are pretty rigid. So it's not ideal for getting these down. You can't pinch them. So you just have to either stop for a second, get that down, or just learn to run and sort of get it in your mouth like that. So if you're worried about that, then practice a little bit in your training before you get there, because getting on all that water and hydration through the race will be really important. The cutoff time for the marathon is 6 hours 15 minutes after you have crossed the start line. So you've got 6 hours 15 minutes to get all the way round to the end. A little point, a little tip is so many runners think the finish is just after the Brandenburg Gate. They get there, they look up, it's like, where's the finish? Well, you've still got at least about 500 meters to go before you get to the end. You're just absolutely running on empty by that time, just thinking, where's this finish? It's not coming. But it does come, and it does feel amazing when you get that lovely medal around your neck, and then you can start to relax. Now, it's very easy for spectators, supporters, whatever, to get around the course on the U-Bahn trains, all of the underground system. There's loads of bikes you can rent around the city as well. If you're looking for a spot to go, then around about halfway, around about 21 kilometers or around about 37 kilometers are just 2 points on the course where you can see runners on both sides of the street. And it does get pretty busy at the finish. There are grandstands at the finish. If you get there really early, you can get in those grandstands, but I'd really recommend go out and explore the atmosphere out on the course as a spectator and take it all in, and then you can meet up with your runner at the end of the race. What's the atmosphere like at the end? Well, it's pretty good. You've got so many people really happy. If you pre-ordered that poncho, you'll be given that poncho at finish line, and you get that well-earned medal around your neck. There's a small walk back to the sort of same area because it starts and finishes in the same place. So you can go and pick up your bag if you drop one off at the start from exactly the same place where you dropped it off at. There are changing rooms and there's showers there available as well. There's also free massages, loads of water, loads of fruit and goodie bags to help you get rehydrated with as well. Then there's an official meeting point outside the pool, Low Bay. I've probably pronounced that wrong. The official meeting point with massive big letters. So you can pre-agree a letter to meet up. So if you're, for me, I'd probably meet Sarah at P for Parks or something like that. Overall, Berlin is an amazing experience, one of my favorite races that I've ever done. There's so much to see and explore in the city. Give yourself some time after the race, ideally, to go and explore some of the restaurants, the cultural sites, and also they have a huge, it must be one of the biggest in the world. I'm not a massive inline skating fan, I don't know much about it, but on the Saturday they have a load of inline skaters that do the whole marathon course as well. Much faster than obviously the marathon runners go round. So if you're looking for something to do on the Saturday, you want to go and spectate, that's really good, fun thing to do. Finally, have a fantastic race out there. Let me know how you get on. The next video coming up will be all around my race day vlog, which you might have seen dotted throughout this video. If you want to watch that, then go and check out up here, me running 2:53, I think it was. And if you want to watch how to get into all of the majors video, that video is coming up down there. That's it, guys. Keep on working hard. Have an amazing race out there. Can keep on it down. We'll see you very soon in the next one.